The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Tsuburaya Productions.
It's time! We're finally here.
Yay.
Finally.
3 years.
Finally.
Finally!
We've been waiting, what, 3
years for this.
3 years to review this?
3 years to get to episode 70. Episode 70 month. Because here we are with the beginning of Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger month. The entire month of February dedicated to this show.
Among other things.
Among Black History Month.
And isn't Gay Pride Month this month too?
Nothing.
Is it?
For June. That's June.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I saw something about it on Facebook and I'm like, oh, okay.
Maybe,
Pretty sure.
Maybe they're just prepping early.
Joke. But yeah, here we are with episode 70, part 1.
Our pirates.
The Space Pirates appear with Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger. I know Jake.
What was
excited.
the name of
I know
that?
Matt's excited.
What was the name of that anime y'all were obsessed with in college? I think it was called Space Pirates something.
Audacious Space Pirates?
Space Battleship Yamato?
No. Okay.
Space Dandy?
Yeah.
No, Space Dandy too.
I think it was Space Dandy.
That show was amazing.
Didn't have much to do with pirates, but it was
I thought it was called Space Pirate.
No,
Sorry.
Space
No,
Dandy.
it's called him being a space asshole. But,
There is Space Pirate Captain Harlock. I do love him.
which is also
That's
good.
what I was thinking.
And it was also associated with Battleship Yamato.
Yeah.
Moving
It's
on.
created by the same guy.
Sorry for my little tangent there.
Yes, here we
That's
are.
fine. Any chance I get to talk about Captain Harlock, I'm happy.
It's so good. If you
Harlock-
haven't seen it,
Harlock's awesome.
go watch it.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's on my to-watch list.
It's really good.
Okay.
But yeah, Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, the first episode, the Space Pirates. But yeah, the first episode, the Space Pirates appear. I know you two want to talk about the opening
Yes.
Yes.
of the show, the actual OP.
The theme song.
Yes. It's great.
It's fantastic. What do you?
It is a good one.
It is a very good one. It's so goddamn catchy.
It's catchy. It's upbeat. It gives you a sense of adventure.
Yeah. Marcus,
No, I just realized I'm looking at a word and I'm sitting here like, oh my god, we have to do the comparison after this.
Yeah. There we do.
But yeah, this
Which I know everyone's looking forward to that.
Yes. The season starts off with the Great Legend War. An event where all 34 of the previous Sentai teams sacrificed their powers to stop the invasion of the Zangyack Empire. Which was amazing. Especially seeing, some of the other teams actually fight together like the Ninja teams.
and not hearing, way to go, Ninja
We
Storm!
won't talk about
I know,
that.
but still.
But it's good to see, for example, Kakuranger and Hurricanger do everything together, seeing the Jetman flying over all of the teams, fighting the Zangyack Empire. It's just cool to see.
Because they have a new trick like flying.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, the thing I just love, and I love little things like this, seeing the Dairangers and the Gokai fight together, and the Maskman in the background.
Mhm.
I'm sitting here like,
His Kung Fu loving heart.
I just like seeing, because these are the things that I wish would have happened.
Mm.
Getting like little things like this where these two teams that are similarly themed fight together.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that at the beginning of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, this is what I wanted.
Hmm.
We're good to go. But yeah, they sacrifice their powers and their Ranger keys, which the powers take a form of, scatter across the universe, only to be found by the Red Pirates, hunted by Aqua Red, who we first saw in the Bokender's anniversary special,
Woo.
and Captain Marvelous, who took over after Aqua Red
Disappeared?
Disappeared, basically. But yeah, we find the Gokaiger coming to Earth after they have found most of the Ranger keys.
Can I just say that I think this is the best introduction to a Sentai team I've ever seen? We get a very, very clear-cut look at their personalities in a very comedic way,
Mm-hmm.
which is them standing on top of a building going,
No, because that doesn't happen first. The first thing that happens is the others that get
I'm talking about when we actually meet them.
Yeah, when we actually
meet them.
But the first
yeah.
thing we see is the
Those-
mech.
Which is also, let's just take that formula and fuck it.
Yeah, because the first thing we see is the mech fighting against basically a good portion of the Zangyack fleet who came a couple years later. And the mech takes them out. Let's talk about the mech, because this is weird that we actually get to see that first. Gokai.
It's pretty good.
I do like it.
I like the base form quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have other pieces of it, but who cares? The Gokai Galleon takes up the most of it, and that's also their living quarters.
Yes.
And we get to
Which you see often.
And the other 4 don't fucking matter.
It's very true. But let's talk about the suits, because we see that immediately after.
I love them so much.
These are very great suits.
love them so much.
They are great suits. I really enjoy these suits.
I never thought, because when I think pirate, I think their outfits as like low-hanging coats, something that would flay in the wind or whatever the term is.
Which is what Captain Marvel's wears outside.
Yeah, pretty much that. And I don't think that would translate to spandex very well. And they fucking knocked it out of the park. The collar is...
The popped collar looks great.
The pop collar looks great. The fact that they made the very stereotypical pirate hat as the helmet just works. All the visors are different enough.
And they reined it in enough so it's not too big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things we complained about a lot in our
Worst
worst Sentai costumes, where some of the helmets are just
Digimon.
huge. Or
Digimon, GoGoFive.
Bioman.
And I love the fact that you can tell that it's a vest. I love the balance of color with black, silver, and whatever the color is.
I think
just
having
hints of white.
The under, especially comparing it to the Gokaiger suits, which had a lot more white on them,
Mm-hmm.
black works better here.
Oh yeah,
as a
absolutely.
subcolor.
I think black goes great with every color, especially if you're on a darker shade.
And we'll see that again next season.
And I really think that what also helps is that no color is just by itself. If something is there as a color, it's going to be someone else as well to match with.
Yeah.
Because the white I'm going to call it the Jolly Roger. The white Jolly Roger symbol on the chest matches with the gloves in the neck. The silver matches with the cuffs, the collar, the Jolly Roger on the helmet. They worked very well.
Mm-hmm. But getting back to the Jolly Roger symbol, I love that it's a Ranger key and crossbones, cross swords.
Which I never noticed, by the way, until now. Never looked at it.
It's like us in the Gigamances. But yeah, getting back to the first episode, because as you said, they do come down. Shout out to the people.
With a
hey,
megaphone. Where's the universe's greatest treasure? And they're like, the fuck?
What is that?
what are you talking
And
about?
then, but everybody gets like a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just such a great introduction into their characters. You've got the stoic leader, the badass bitch, the princess, the timid doctor, and the silent swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Ahim.
Yeah, she's great.
I just love Minasan. She was like, yay!
She's a princess. She's used to communicating with the masses.
And the way that they, in a fight against the Zangyack, isn't as altruistic as a lot of the other teams.
They fight only when they
They're
have
in
to.
this for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
To start with.
Completely selfish reasons.
They start because they blew up their lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Marvelous is just pissed.
The only reason they come to Earth in the first place is because they know the grand treasure is there.
Not because the army's
Not because the army's there.
Yeah.
I
Those just came there because we have...
This is where X marked the spot.
And the only reason they end up helping...
And I heard your curry is great.
Yeah. And the only reason they end up helping that school of children is because Marvelous just hates Zangyack more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to see their first fight, and I love their first fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
And just the way they end up using the Gokai changes
Yep.
for that.
I also love the fact that how often do we see teams trade weapons like that
Yeah.
with the cutlasses and the blunder pistols?
Flintlock pistols.
Yeah.
Now, the three teams that they changed to in the first episode
Mm-hmm.
are the Go-Rangers,
Dairanger,
Shinkinders, and the Magic Rangers.
Yep.
Thing about this, they changed the teams which all have their same color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a little...
Start off
aspect.
easy. You know,
Yeah.
just start off with something easy.
So, can we talk about the Gokai changes?
Yeah.
I think this was the first Sentai I watched, and not once throughout any of this show was I ever like, wait, who's that? What are they changing into? What's going on?
You didn't care
I didn't care.
because it was cool.
Not just that, but the way it's all executed and the way it's written, performed, etc. There is clearly a very, very high level of respect for what's going on,
Yeah.
for what has happened in the past.
You can
The way the Ranger keys announce what they are changing into with such energy, and it really feels like,
Also, props to that voice actor.
oh yeah, he's great.
And he probably destroyed his vocal cords.
He came back in Zyuohger for the other teams that came after
Mm-hmm.
when they transformed
Yep.
into those.
But like I said, probably destroyed his vocal cords at least twice.
Yeah,
Because you know they have to do a couple of takes of this.
Mhm.
Now,
yeah,
this
he
show
got paid. So
has quite a bit of tributes.
Every other episode, I would say so.
That's another thing.
Pretty much.
You can watch the show and not having watched any of the previous shows.
This was my second Sentai.
Yeah,
so,
this is my first.
What was your...
Dairanger.
Well, yeah. Because that was my first one.
And that's one of the things that I think that makes it stand up so well. Because even with all these past references, if you've seen because now that we have all gone back and reviewed so many of these shows,
and I think that's the thing that made me just appreciate this show so much more.
Yeah.
We've gone back and seen all of it, and now we can be like, oh, I know who that is, I understand that little reference. And now, but if you haven't, you can still watch it and be like, this is great.
Especially once Gokai Silver is introduced as the Sentai fanboy.
Mm-hmm.
So once the tribute episodes are happening after he's introduced, he's like, it's so-and-so from such and such. And you're like, thank you.
Now, before we actually get to him, though, there's a little bird, a mechanical bird, that on the ship.
Also, a Navi who wasn't irritating the entire show. Can we just applaud that
he's mostly there to help them, like, with the teams of the greater powers that they have to get. And the first one that they have to... Because
and
she
he tells it through riddle prophecies.
Yes,
more or less.
Little riddles.
And the first one that we
Which are always fun.
The first one that we get is about a man dressed in black. And that man dressed in black is Kai from Megaranger. Who was the first tribute episode that we get in episode 3. And it's mostly a Dawn-focused episode because, the Megarangers are mostly about courage. That was their whole thing.
And Dawn needed some of that.
Yeah, he needed a lot of that.
He was the cowardly lion of the group.
Yeah, and the thing I love about the tribute episodes when they get the ultimate powers, they play the theme song instrumental in the background, and it gives it just an extra level of epicness when they do it, and I absolutely love that.
Speaking of music, I like the music in this show a lot.
Oh, no, the music's fantastic.
That one theme that they always play, that like da-da-dum, 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 that has like a very Pirates of the Caribbean-esque kind of flavor to it. I love that. It just makes you want to like strap a cutlass on and go fight something, or go on an adventure.
Also,
it's great.
Marvelous is the Red Ranger we really want in Sentai right now. After dealing with the Red Rangers we've gotten,
he's the one we deserve.
Well, no, because both Lupin Red and Pato and Ichigo are both great, but I'm really hoping because we got the character things for Ryu Soldier, and it said something about a hot-blooded leader, and I'm saying like, no, I don't want that again. Almost a spit take.
Almost.
Kyoryuger Part 2.
Yeah, and I really don't want that. So I'm sitting here like, I hope it's hot-blooded, but like on the level of Patrick Ichigo. So that'd be great.
I did like the picture of that, like, what appears to be like the villain that looks like them. That's what on the
that
Discord.
Looks like Wolzard?
Yeah, it looks like Wolzard in the Discord.
Now, back to this.
Sorry.
But anyway.
In the Megaranger episode, they also get, when they get the greater power, at least for some of the teams, they get an armament.
A mech configuration.
Yeah, or a mech configuration for the for Gokai. The first one that we get is Magic Dragon, who we saw as a combination of the other 4 Megarangers in the actual show. And it performs a circle around the thing. Whoever they're fighting, it blows them up. As, you do. Now, episode 4...
Congratulations, you leveled up. Here's a dragon.
Like explosions.
Yes.
Now,
yes, thank you.
Episode 4 really starts a thing for Joe, our blue Gokai Blue throughout this show, who gets, I think, honestly, more than Marvelous up to a certain point in terms of just focus. He gets a lot of focus, which is something I really wasn't expecting. But he's a swordsman.
He's a great character, so
yeah, he's a swordsman. This is one of the first times that we get to see the 5-sword configuration.
I was going to say, we get to see him quintuple wield swords.
Yeah. And
because F you.
Yeah. It's such a good episode just to really focus on him and his journey. And I just think it's great. I like Joe a lot. He gets some really good backgrounds. Like, I'm talking about, like, he'll do stuff in the background that's just hilarious. Because he's so stoic, but once he gets surprised by something, he's like, I'm fucked. Now, episode 5, we actually get multiple returning actors in this episode because it's the Dairanger tribute.
Yep.
Judgment Pirates. So the first one that we get to see is the best Yellow Ranger ever.
Yep.
Jasmine from Dairanger.
Did you know that she has psychic abilities?
I had no idea.
Jasmine, why is they
Doggy Kruger. He's the first extra ranger that we get to see, but it's a transform.
Also, great to see him again.
Yeah. And at the end of the episode, we get to see Bon Bon.
Bon.
This is before the 10 years after.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we get to see all of them.
It's before the 10 years after, but you get a sense. But now that we've seen 10 years after and Dairanger, we get a sense of like going back to watch this. You get a sense of where his character is at this point in his life and how much he's matured since then.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the range anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But we also see that. Well, one of the main things that Zangyack put out a bounty on their heads, and the Dairangers thought they were just straight up criminals from the Zangyack Empire. Then Bond comes in and tells them that no, they're evil. Stop this,
guys.
I left for 5 minutes.
They're called the Empire, guys. Come on, of course they're evil.
Come on.
I left for 5 minutes, and you're arresting the new Sentai. What the fuck?
Yeah. And this episode, they also get the great power. The ultimate power of the Dairangers, and we get Pat Striker, which is basically Bond's vehicle,
but can attach to the Gokaigers.
And they get like a very Dairanger-esque fight scene,
which was cool.
Which is very cool. Mostly in this one, we're going to talk about more about the tributes because a lot of the things happen in regards to the tributes. Now we haven't talked about the Zangyack Empire. We get the Prince Warz, who's a bitch.
I love him though. I love that our main villain for most of the show is essentially a spoiled brat who's just not getting his way and throwing tantrums.
It's true.
It got grating after a while though.
And Sarn.
Who was his henchwoman.
And why can't I remember the other guy's name?
Barizorg?
Well, Barizorg too. And one more.
I've got it. Gill?
Dominus.
Dominus.
Yeah.
Dominus.
He's bronze and he's huge.
Dominus.
Now, episode 7, I will mention this. Like, there are a couple things they sort of do in this episode that they place where Gokaiger is in terms of universes. As you said before, Gokaiger takes place in the Versus universe. So that's why all of these Sendai are together instead of just being, separate as they usually are. But I say this because the main villain from the Dairanger Gokaiger movie, his son is the main villain of this episode 7. Niki Kinpo lesson. Speaking of which, all the episode titles are correspondent if they're a tribute to the Sentai that they take the tribute from. So we get a title-esque from that particular, like this one.
Changing courage into magic.
Yes. But we get to see John again. Who looks no different because it's only been about...
It hasn't been that long.
4 years?
But personality-wise...
He's a master now.
And he's calmed down significantly.
Yeah.
He has his moments where he still gets excited, though.
Yeah. But yeah, because you gotta remember, this is still the boy who was raised by tigers.
This is the episode where Ahim and Don figure out that they're not... I can't
wait to talk about this one in comparison.
Oh, you will.
Oh, good.
This is the episode where Ahim and Don are just like, we're not the great fighters. We need to
learn how to fight.
Especially when they get their weapons taken away, they can't do anything. So the main three, red, yellow, and blue turn into Sun Vulcan is Pachamok.
Yeah.
And then the next time, they're doing more martial arts themed in this one. Although they never transformed to the Dairangers, we get to see them transform into the Dairangers for this Dairanger tribute. And them putting the Dairanger keys in the Gokaio just brings out like a spiritual version of their mechs. And just basically just runs the guy over and blows him up at the end of it. Also, I love how earlier they had, it was in episode 3, and I completely forgot to mention this. They were going to try to use the other keys, even though they didn't have the great powers, and they were going to try to use it in the mech. And all these people are down there trying to take pictures and cameras. They're like, oh my god, we get to see something cool. And nothing happens. It was hilarious. I loved it. I really like this episode, especially because Master Shafu turns up at the end.
Yeah.
And we all know how much Master Shafu's great.
Yeah.
One thing I want to bring up is this, the legend shift.
Yeah.
You talk about tributes. Whenever we always get at least one moment in the tribute episode where our returning cast member will look off into the middle distance or at the camera, and the image of his suit will be superimposed over him or her for a second, and then it'll disappear. And I love that.
It's usually, if I recall, it's usually more when they're introduced.
Sometimes it's when they're introduced. Sometimes it's later.
True. It was still just a It's something that gives you the goosebumps.
I'm just getting something up. So we can't talk about that yet, but episode 9 is the Dairanger tribute.
Gao
Brings back Gao Red.
Mm-hmm.
He's a vet.
And the Gao Lion, who serves as basically just a big armament for the Gokaiger. After they actually had to go and meet it, because they had to find the turtle island that floats around first. And I love how they actually go and meet Gao Lion, just from one anniversary season to another. He'll be showing up again, by the way, in a couple weeks. And the Super Sentai special that'll be going on for this until Ryusoja starts.
Sweet.
But yeah, this is the Dairanger tribute. They get Gao Lion. Once again, although I know you don't like this opening for this show.
For Dairanger, yeah.
I
don't like Dairanger in general.
Well, yeah, the show's terrible. But I still love hearing the theme song in the background. That's always great. That'll never not be bad.
For you, at least.
Gao.
Episode 12 and 13. 11 and 12 is the Hurricanger tribute. And using Gao Lion, they get the basic just Hurricanger parts put on Gokaiger and makes it Shinken Gokaiger. And the ranger that we actually get for this one is the team's extra ranger. We get Ahim Shinken Red instead of regular.
Interesting choice.
Which I kind of like it, but I kind of do like that.
Yeah,
I do too.
I thought it was a very interesting idea.
Yeah, and I like the fact that she was the one who came in and gave the ultimate power to them.
And
that's how we got Shinken Gokaiger. And I just like the Shinkenger's suits again.
Yeah, the Shinkenger suits are great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They're always so good. Episode 14. Here's the thing I realized in this show. One, this is the episode where Jealosuto comes in. And I love him. He's adorable. He's like in love with Insarm the first time you see him.
Yeah.
This whole thing is from it's a Caranger tribute episode. So the whole thing is basically just playing that, like Zonette being in love with Red Racer and not being in love with Kyosuke, and that whole thing plays out here between Insar and Jealosuto and Red Racer again.
Yes.
And I've also noticed this: if a Caranger sees you, you're fucked.
Yep.
You are immediately embroiled.
Red Racer also has the best legend shift ever.
Yeah.
Where his thing is superimposed over in front of him, and he's like, and he knocks it out of the way.
Yeah, if a Caranger sees you, you're absolutely fucked. You're trapped in shenanigans until they decide that they're done with you. So that's exactly how the show goes. I love you. I love Red Racer in this episode. Everything is so great.
We were introduced to him in this episode. He's trying to put on a live theater show for children about traffic safety.
Which is important.
It is important.
And I love how Navi gives that clue at the very beginning, and then they go around yelling at people for doing traffic infractions.
Yes. Well, the hint was just traffic safety.
Yeah. But yeah, once a Caranger sees you, you're trapped. Until they are done with you, you are trapped. But Jealosuto doesn't die at the end of this.
Nope.
He just gets thrown out in the trash. We'll return to him later. Actually, a couple times. Not only one more time in the show, but another couple times in the movies. And I also love how their big finisher for fighting against Jealosuto is just somebody riding on a motorcycle, on a scooter, somebody else on a skateboard, somebody else on a unicycle, and then it's Captain Marvelous on like holding on to Dom while he's on a unicycle, just going like this. Yeah, I told you.
God, this show is weird sometimes.
It's Dairanger. You're trapped.
It's Caranger.
Episode 15 and 16, we are introduced to basically what comes about to the emotional aspect of the show with the introduction of Basco.
The privateer.
Basco Jolokia, who used to be a part of the Red Pirates until he betrayed them and almost got Akared killed, along with Marvelous, and then they all escaped.
We like Basco.
Also, I think this is the episode that we get to see Kid Marvelous, who goes on to play Geed.
That's right.
Cool.
But yeah, Basco's great. We get to meet him and Sally.
His little monkey friend.
Yes. And I just love Basco because he is a giant asshole of a troll.
He is a troll and he relishes in being a troll.
Yeah.
The amount of joy you always see on his face when he just gets to dick somebody over.
Which is almost always. He sees you and you're screwed.
Yep.
That's basically exactly how this one goes.
But let's also just not forget that while he is also a troll, he will destroy you in combat.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't happen really until later. But yeah, this is also the episode where, one, we find out, well, at least the Gokaigers find out that there are 6 Ranger keys. And they get those back in this episode as well. Bosco's like, that's alright, I have other Ranger keys. Because he has the extra Ranger keys as well.
He does. And he has a trumpet that can summon them.
Yes, the trumpet summons them. He basically works like the end, where he actually just summons them instead of becomes them.
That's good.
But yeah, episodes 15 and 16 are amazing. And they are extremely good. And I really enjoy just, one, watching Basco just go back onto the screen. Just because he has so much charisma.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes on there and just like, hey, Marva-chan, and then he shoots him. I was like, alright. Now, this leads to a certain movie that we won't talk about yet.
It's getting its own review.
Yes, that'll be part 3 of this month. Episode 17, if you saw the movie, you know that number
Very
199.
tease.
Yes, number 199, as the movie is called 199 Heroes, is a certain Silver Ranger who appears.
I thought he was 200.
He was 199.
Oh.
Which to me is weird because he's not a part of the movie at all.
Yeah, he just shows up at the very end.
Exactly.
Yeah, Gokai Silver. Let's talk about his suit, because his suit is different from the others.
His suit's amazing. I love his suit.
I do like his suit.
I love this suit so much.
I love how it is different but similar enough. His collar goes down as well. He gets a little triangular pop collar.
Mm-hmm.
He gets gold trimming instead of silver because he's already silver.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of the captain pirate hat, he gets a bandana with an anchor symbol on it.
It's great.
It is so cool. And he gets orange visor instead of black.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I think it works.
I think it really works. I also just adore his weapon.
His weapon is great.
His trident blaster
Trident that
spear,
turns into a blaster.
and then also turns into a spear in his gold form.
I also love his actor.
Ugh.
I
He was
love
good in this.
Junya Ikeda commits 1,000% to this role.
That is accurate.
He's amazing.
Tirati committed about 87% to his Garo role.
This is true.
We're not talking about that.
We're going to have to again soon. Episode 18.
We already watched that season. We already reviewed that season. On
Season 5.
Oh, fuck. He's alreght. He comes back.
And the movie.
Okay.
But yeah.
As long as it isn't Garo Season 3, I'm fine.
Oh no, it'll never be that again. Episode 18, we get his mech, Gouzhujin, which is a combination of the 3 awesome
T-Rex.
powers that he got from his almost near-death experience from Ohranger, Timeranger, specifically Time Fire.
Time Fire and Drairanger.
Yeah.
Also, watching this now, I got a little bit of an Ultraman flashback with the way he gets chosen. It's a near-death experience, and then heroes of the past are like, here's our power.
You'll do.
No, you'll do is Ultraman Jeet.
And the one,
That's
that
what
we see,
Leto.
the one of the 3 that we see is Opera Killer.
Mm-hmm.
These are all 3 that have passed away, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see him come back, because he's just great. This isn't the only Operator tribute episode that we get during the season either.
Yes.
But yeah, we get Gouzhujin. His big mech.
Yep.
The first one is a ship.
Yep.
Basically,
I didn't
based
like the look of the ship version. It looked a bit
because
odd.
of the dinosaur head on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it comes from the future, as you know, Time Rangers should.
Yep.
Time Fire!
It turns into a giant Godzilla-esque dragon,
Go to
T-Rex thing.
Dragon Ranger,
Mm-hmm.
and the last one it looks a lot like the Stego one from Ahim, Operator Killer's mech.
And when it transforms into its robot form, it kind of looks like the Time Fire's when it goes into battle mode.
I mean, yeah, all 3 are
Kind of-
interspersed in between.
Yeah.
It's 3 in 1.
Yeah.
You bought them in both.
Like a trade.
Got a discount.
Episode 19 basically focuses on Dawn and Guy's relationship because Dawn feels very jealous of how Guy came in. He thinks he's just so much better at everything, and they have their own thing. But this also introduces the worst thing about this show.
combining the Ranger keys?
No.
Yes.
I was gonna.
He's not wrong. Because this is when we get Gokai Silver Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, his super form, which is introduced 2 episodes after he is.
Which is like one of the biggest problems.
And it's hideous.
This is one of the worst super forms of this.
It's fucking awful.
It's awful.
It wouldn't be so bad.
The weapon's alright.
Yeah, the trident blades fold into a spear to make just a big spear, which is really cool. But that cuirass, I guess is the term.
I heard trash. You're still right.
With all the little faces of the previous 6th Rangers.
Yep.
Which is the biggest problem.
Like, if it was just like... You know what would have been perfectly okay? If it was just the cuirass with the gold Roman numeral of 6 on it instead of...
That would have been great.
That would have been fine. Because,
it's just the faces.
It has it extends like way down past his crotch. And then the parts on the legs that are always flopping around. And you know just feel like they get caught on stuff.
You know what makes this worse? We see this in every single episode.
Every episode.
And I'm just
I do also like how the helmet goes down, so he gets a new.
It's very Hurricanger-esque with his fire mode. This is also when we get to see the hybrid version of the Go on Wings.
Yes,
which that was okay.
I like the way that happens. It's like
I don't know what to choose.
It's like I don't know which one to be. There were 2 of them. I'll do both.
Yeah,
why not?
Like he sees a vision of the 2 of them, the brother and sister, going like, "Yeah," and then the keys combine.
That's fine. Mm-hmm. But this gold mode is...
This is also when we get to see, because they all transform to the Go-ongers in this episode, this is when we get to see the influence from RPM.
Mm-hmm. Because they have the spinning tires.
Yeah, they have the spinning tires, which they never use in Go-onger. At least not until, I believe, 10 years after. Yeah, but this is... Oh, my God. I hate the fact that we have to get Gold
mode every single episode.
Gold mode is in every episode after this. Episode 20 is a tribute to Gingaman. So
Ginga next.
No, we actually do have to talk about this episode because it's hilarious. One, this is when we get the
extra Ranger keys.
I think only one of them because Liveman Hyuga is the only one they get.
Yeah. Sorry. Also, really back to gold mode. I love how you can barely see King Ranger.
Oh yeah,
because it's black.
It's all black.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
That's hilarious.
You can barely see him.
So your space is missing. Oh, it doesn't look.
I like how this episode basically really focuses on Guy and his insecurities because Hyuga asked for him to give him the Gokai Silver so he could turn into it. He was like, and it's hilarious. I never noticed it until I watched it the other day. But he says, I can be, when he says, don't you already have a power set? He's like, yeah, I can already be something else. And they play like the clacks from Kakuranger. Because he was Sasuke and Kakuranger.
Oh, that's actually pretty clever.
I was like, what? Oh my God, that's great. I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. And we get to see that Basco can steal the other great powers by using his trumpet. It doesn't work here, of course. And we also this is one of those ones where we get to see more than one Ranger. Because we get to see both Hyuga and Ginga Red. I just love when they do things like that when more than one Ranger comes back. Because after a little bit, this is the series of episodes where it's just like every episode is a tribute episode because the past Sentai actors heard, hey, you're doing a season, I'll be in it. And it's always like, great.
Yay!
Because episode 21 is a tribute to Gokanger.
Yes.
And I love how Akashi just shows up on the ship. And Marvelous is like, how'd you get up here? He was like, I can do this before breakfast.
Which knowing him, he probably did.
He already did it. He was actually there since this morning. But yeah, this is also when they bring back Ryuon for a brief period. One of the main bad guys from Gokanger. They kill him. But he is back in this episode.
But he came back for a little bit.
He wasn't here very long. But he was here.
But he was there.
Also, what episode are we on?
21.
21, yes.
We have talked about 20 episodes and have not really once talked about the villains.
There's a reason.
We did.
I'm just saying. But
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, but my point is that this show was not designed to have strong villains.
It probably was at the beginning.
Then all the fucking tribute episodes happened?
No, and then all the Sentai action was like, I'll be in it! So,
which was the exact opposite of what Power Rangers went through. Fuck you! You're not going to pay me? What?
I was going to say, it's kind of like a Marvel movie. We want the focus to be on the heroes. Villains, yeah, we need them. They're there. They serve their purpose.
Depends what Marvel movie you're talking about.
Most of them.
Infinity War, there was
Thor 2.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Movie. Infinity War, there was a lot of focus on Thanos.
Well, that's because he was the main character.
Yeah.
He has a very good point.
That's my point.
Episode 23, People's Lives of the Future of Earth. This is a tribute to GoGoFive. And the sister, Go Pink, is the one who shows up. Mm-hmm. She helps a lady give birth.
Yep.
And Damaras is this is one of the few times I'll talk about the villains because, as you said before, Warz Gill is incompetent, but Damaras is the one who's like, all right, they're looking for these powers. Maybe we can try to get the powers first and try to go after Go Pink.
How'd that go?
It doesn't work. But I love how the fact that it's Go Pink that we see and not anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Although, to be fair, if you haven't seen or haven't heard, Go Yellow is very sick. We saw like his actor, and we saw a video recently because he's like paralyzed on one side of his body almost, and it started to show up at the very end of GoGoFive, where he like started to forget his lines. But there's a video of him, his actor, in the gymnasium, and all the other GoGoFive members like come in, and they're like standing at the top of like the second floor, and like the light shines on him. He's like, "Oh, GoGoFive," and they come down like talking and everything. It's great.
Oh.
But yeah, this is a tribute episode to GoGoFive, and I love how this whole one was mostly just them helping people, because that was
the point.
GoGoFive at the end of the day. And there's the whole part where they basically trick them, and Basco tries to come in and tries to get the great power of the of Go Pink. That doesn't work because Ahim uses Magi Pink's power to transform into Go Pink. And it's just hilarious. I love the fact that they get these little things in between the episodes. Also, this episode is mostly focused on Luca and Ahim. Mm-hmm. And they transform into the other sibling teams. Yep. So they transform into 5-Man and Measuring. Mm-hmm. I just love when they do little end things like that.
Yeah.
Episode 24. I'm only mentioning this episode because this is the one where Jella Soto comes back.
Yep.
And this episode is insane because since he's basically a Caranger villain, once again they're tapped into shenanigans. Mm-hmm. So he ends becoming like some guy's pet because at first he was throwing out like trash, and then he becomes some guy's pet. It turns weird. He ends up becoming like an apprentice for him when he's making gyoza, I believe. Takoyaki. And then he ends up marrying the guy's mother. And I'm like, what is this episode?
Oh,
but then I remember, he's a Caranger villain.
You see a Caranger character, you're trapped.
Yeah, until they're done with you, you're trapped. Now, episode 25 and 26 is the Hurricanger tributes. Because Satorakura Jr. and Sandar Jr., who are the sons of two of the villains from Hurricanger, come into this episode and are basically the main villains. And the 3 Hurricangers come back. The whole team shows up in this episode. And I absolutely love this episode.
It's great.
Like I said, we don't really like Hurricanger the show, but we absolutely love these characters.
Yeah.
So, and seeing them come back is just great. And seeing the two teams work together and how their quirkiness really rides off each other. And they get their Ranger keys back for the episode, the Hurricangers do.
Yeah, and there's like some fucking game show of death or something.
Yeah, Satorakura Jr. Basically comes in, like the whole plan is to turn everybody into nuts. And then they would use like the power from those people turning into nuts. Yeah, that was the thing. They say that and then they get turned into a nut. And then they were going to use that power to like launch a missile and blow the earth up. It's weird. I don't know.
Game show, nuts, blow up earth. Profit.
But I love when the Hurricanes get into it because it basically just becomes another episode of Hurricane.
I remember watching that episode. And again, this is my second Sentai. And I went, oh, look. And I would still be calling them by the Power Ranger names because I didn't know any better yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, look, it's Ninja Storm. And then they did the stupid, like, ninpo of hearing, hearing things, and a giant ear appears in the helmet. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Ninja Storm never did that.
No, but they did surf one another and slide on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this episode.
Nobody's
seeing
perfect.
these two teams, ninjas and
You
pirates.
can't
and
avoid
ninjas,
all of it.
but pirates versus ninjas,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is always like a thing.
Which has been a debate among nerds for a long time.
But I love seeing the two teams.
Now
fight
it's
together.
just doesn't matter Shaggy wins because that's a fucking thing now.
That meme is insane. Seeing these two teams fight together is always going to be great. Now, episode 28 is a thing. It's a Jetman tribute episode.
Mhm.
And this is one of those episodes where I'm just like, you really might want to go and actually watch that show first because it spoils it.
I mean, I didn't, but
This one guy.
No, I take that back. I'm sorry. Gokaiger was my third Sentai. Jetman was
We
my
did watch
first.
Jetman.
Then Dairanger. Then this. And then I cried because of this. Again, because you suck.
That does suck. Well, but yeah, this episode starts off in heaven. And for Guy, heaven is a bar.
a bar where Jazz is a pretty young lady.
Where God is a pretty young lady.
Yeah.
Guy Yuki is in a bar with God.
Mm-hmm.
And he beats her at a card game, so he gets the privilege to come back for a day. For some reason, Guy, as in Gokaiger Guy, can't see him. And no one's really sure why.
I don't even know if the writers are sure why.
And I think the reason that everybody came up with is that this was the last team without a Six Ranger.
Mm.
So that's why he can't see them. But I do love the scene where they
It's
go
a
to...
dumb reason, but
Yeah,
whatever.
it's the only thing that really makes sense. I do love the scene, though, where they go to his grave.
Yeah.
And we see, like, vegetables. And
Yeah, we
seeds.
see that the other members of Jetman are still tending to it and still leaving him offerings. I like that touch.
This is also the episode where we get to see quite a few Gokai changes because the main villain of this episode is like a bounty hunter
Mm-hmm.
that Gokai Red fought before, but he lost.
Yep.
And basically, this whole episode is them getting completely and utterly bodied by this guy.
At least until Guy shows up and he starts fighting the monster.
Yeah, and then he just wins. And they're like,
Yeah.
how the hell did he turn into Black Condor? We still have the key. It's like, no, even in death, there is still the sense and want for justice. But I think this is the first time that we get to see them really turn into the entire Bioman team and the entire Maskman team, and then get destroyed.
Mm. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, and then at the end, they get the greater power of the Jetman, and they beat the guy. And then we get to see it's the bench, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He sits down on the bench where he died.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing that we see of him.
I wonder, was it filmed on the same location?
Yeah.
It was, wow. I also like his gravestone. It has the Jetman logo on it.
Yep.
It says Black Wings sleeping here forever.
It's a great episode. Episode 29.
Nice emotional touch there, show.
Yeah.
You did good.
Fuck
Episode
you.
29
Sucks.
is...
I don't like looking at my own heart. Why'd you rip it out of my chest?
Episode 29 is the other Ohranger tribute episode. And I absolutely love this episode.
Do
because
you?
It is insane.
Oh my god. This episode annoyed me.
I loved it because it does one of my favorite things, and this is, like I said, my favorite episode of Change Red as well. It's the quick outfit change episode.
Yeah,
that the girl gets
that's
to do.
true.
And I absolutely
I
love
did
it.
like that. This is something that all Sentai girls can do.
Yeah. Which is actually a thing. They did this in the Dairanger tribute as well.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love this episode because we get to see Ahim in a wedding dress, a policeman's uniform, a schoolgirl's uniform, and a nurse's outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, this is great. And then she gets the worst key.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a fake key for one.
Well, yeah, because we get Operator Blue
Yep.
and his wife,
His wife.
who was also an Outranger.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them come back. And she gives Ahim
She's
the-
like, "Hey, I'm the 200th Sentai. Here's my key." And then it's
The pig.
a homemade pig costume.
And Ahim's like, I'm not.
And she's like, "I am so embarrassed."
I'm not doing this one, so I'm out. And they just, there's also this little thing, and they'll occasionally do this where they'll take like the characteristics of the ranger that they're playing, and I love it when Guy turns into Operate Killer, and it's like, this is exciting because that was his catchphrase in Ohranger, and I'm just like, yes, that's how you do this. Episode 30, actually, before that, this is the episode where they use the Ohranger keys in the Gokaiger, and the Gokaiger actual mech, instead of just Gyojujin. and it gives the Gokaio Gojujin's arms, which is a precursor to something that will come later. But episode 30 is a tribute that I honestly didn't expect to happen because they did not, in this show at least, do a lot of the Showa era tributes, like at all.
Yeah.
But this episode is the Liveman tribute. And this also just is really a thing because earlier, Barizorg is a cyborg version of Joe's mentor, Sid, because Joe was previously a part of the Zangyack Empire. And a lot of Joe's stories just been trying to get Barizorg back. And the Liveman who we get back in this episode is Joe. Yellow Lion.
And he's not the only one we get back. Because Zion, the monster, voiced by Joji Nakata, Professor Beast. Yay.
It's so good. I didn't know that. It's great.
Yep.
But I love how this episode, Joe figures out that, because the whole thing behind the monster of this episode was capturing, like, physically fit guys and turned them into another copy of Barizorg. And Joe ends up picking Gokai Blue, picks up this thing that he drops the person they beat him, and gives it to Yellow Lion. Yellow Lion goes out and tries to see if there's any way we could turn any of these back. And no, that's not possible. And I love how this entire episode was, one, double Joe's. And two, this is really something that Joe
had. It was JoJo.
Yeah. But this entire this entire episode was honestly the best way they could have done this tribute. Because, you know, this is something that the Liveman really had to go through. There are people, their friends, that they could not save. And there's no way to turn Barizorg back into what he was before. He's just a blank slate with just the physical abilities left over. And I love the fact that Yellow Lion is the one that tells him, like, no, we can't do this. This is something that you had to go through. We've done it before. Trust me, we know where we're coming from. We know where you're going right now. But yeah. And the hint that Navi gave at the beginning of this episode was looking for a skateboarding guy. A skateboarding line.
Skateboarding line, yeah.
And when Gokai Blue was about to leave, he sees the skateboard and he looks at Joe. And he just said, "Hey, were you one of the Livemen?" And Joe's like, "Maybe."
Long time ago in a show far, far away.
And I love how they're at one part of the beginning of this episode, they're looking. It was Luca and Guy, and they find some kids on the skateboard. And Luca's like, "Hey, were you one of the Livemen?" And Guy's like, "You're a fucking idiot." It was like,
that was 30 years ago, you big dope.
Yeah, he's like, they saved the world before I was born. So, how? Stop.
That's one of the things I love about Guy in the show is the fact that he's so knowledgeable about Super Sentai and he can say things like that.
Yeah.
Like Navi will say a riddle and he goes like, "Oh, I know what that is."
Which is why I'm glad they made him that, because there's only so much of the shenanigans, like when they did there's like Man in Black. Let's go find a Man in Black. 70 bajillion people are wearing black today. Fuck. That bit can only go but so far before it gets old.
Yeah.
Now, episode 31 is
the tribute to Ohranger.
Yes, the Ohranger tribute episode. And this is also the episode where Basco decides that he is tired of Guy and breaks his arm. Because fuck you.
Yeah, that happens.
But we get two of the O-Rangers back. We get Momo, O-Pink, and O-Red is back as well. And I love how Navi's hint at the beginning of this episode was like, "Wow! Wow! Wow!" And Guy's like, "I have no idea what this means." So they go out and
I'm sorry, I got nothing, guys.
So they go out and try to find some like an amusement park because they think it's just people yelling. So they think that if they go there, they'll find something about that. And then Momo's over here like, "Come get your ultimate power, Gokaigers! Where are you? I'm hearing stuff."
Well, that doesn't look suspicious at all.
And yeah, and then he sees like on their arms because she's wearing the outfit. It says UAOH. Wow. He's like, "Oh." Also, I love when Guy sees the passive language
and
oh!
loses his shit.
It's like every nerd at a convention when they meet their idol for the first time.
Except he does it every episode.
Yeah, but
he has so many idols to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So O-Red, the whole thing in this episode was O-Red is trying, because Basco has taken a couple of the other greater powers, so O-Red is trying to go and get them back. He tries to blow Basco up, that does not work. But the entire time that Momo's been hanging out with the Gokaiger, she's been getting them to do stuff, but she keeps looking at her wrist because she has to watch. And she's like, if he doesn't call me by this time, I'm supposed to be the one to give you the greater power of the Ohringers. And that doesn't happen. Momo's about to give them the greater power, and Marvelous is like, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this right. So they go out, they save O-Red, and this is also the first time that we get to see Bosco's monster form.
Mm-hmm.
Where he just legitimately walks through the Gokaigers.
Yeah. He's been holding back.
Yeah.
I love his monster form.
Mm-hmm.
I think, just on retrospect, out of all the ones with lips, these might be my honest, even though Kyuranger's up there, these might be my favorite suits. Of just the ones with lips.
I think Kyuranger's.
Like, I love them both, but I just like the shit. I like the geometry.
Mm.
You like the symmetry?
Yeah. I just like it.
I'll give you that, but I just think the Kyuranger suits are just more pleasing.
I mean, they're great, but it's just like
on this one.
Something about them. I just love them. I don't know. They speak to me. In the episode 32, after they get the O-Ranger's ultimate power, and after Guy gets his arm broken,
like a twig.
Yeah, because Basco says, "I hate guys like you," and then just breaks his arm because fuck you. And I'm sitting here like, I will applaud this because I sort of hate him too at this point.
I will applaud this also because if I don't, I feel like you'll break my arm as well.
But yeah, this is episode 31 and 32, so both started at the O-Ranger tribute. But episode 32 is when they get the Gokai Galleon Buster after basing it off of the O-Ranger's Ole Bazooka. And that's really like our last big armament that we get. And I really, really like just how the Gokai Galleon Buster works.
I like how it works. I don't think it really should have been made. I feel like the final wave was a good enough finisher as it was.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was made just for the point of having a toy.
Oh yeah. But it doesn't feel invasive. At least it's based on something else.
I'll give you that, but it still just felt you still have
It's an unnecessary extra step.
Yeah.
When what you had previously seemed to be working just fine.
Yeah, although I will say this, whatever key they insert into the back, that's a color charge, or in Guy's case when he does it, special charge. They never do that with Luca. It never gets yellow charge. Everybody else gets one, but it doesn't happen with Luca. So
sorry, Luca.
Whoops. Now, episode 33, Eats a Hero, is the Dairanger tribute episode. And one of my favorite Red Ranger shows back up in this episode.
You lost your shit.
I love Keiichi Iwata. And the fact that it's him and Guy, because they're both martial artists fighting out of suit for so much of this episode, is amazing. I absolutely love and this is the second time that Keiichi Iwata shows up in something Gokaiger related, because he's also in the 199 Heroes movie.
Yep.
But it's just the fact that so much of this episode is just them fighting out of suit and Keiichi just being a complete utter badass. And I'll sit here like, why aren't you Gokai Silver?
Can we also? I would also like to point out that this tribute, I think, had the best legend shift in Gokaiger. It's not just them standing there and you see the suit imposed on them. It's them doing the moves to their roll call while fighting the minions, and then the suit is imposed on them.
Because he gets all of them. Because Keiichi Iwata does all of the stances of the team.
Yeah, and so like when he's fighting, it does that, and I'm just like,
it's so good.
It's so good.
Oh god, this is why I just love when he shows up and stuff.
Yeah. Just like seeing him.
It's sort of like, it's like Kenji Oba, Keiichi Iwata. That's basically how it is for me.
We didn't get any Kenji Oba yet. Not yet.
Well, in the movie we did.
We do. We got 3 Kenji Obas in that fucking movie.
No, in 199 he's there too.
True. I was more but
he's in everything in this show.
Didn't 3 of them show up in the Gavin movie with Gokaiger?
We'll talk about that at the end of this month.
But I'm just saying that I'm just trying to remember I'm gonna get my movie straight.
Yeah.
Because I just remember seeing that and just went, wow, they fucking did it. They had the balls.
They actually fucking did.
By our powers combined, we are Kenji Oba.
Times 3.
We are Venom.
I need to show you the Kenji. There's like a fucking Sentai themed ramen commercial I saw with Kenji Oba in it, and I about
I know what
died.
you're talking about.
I about died.
All right, now
Surprised
episode
me.
34. Luca does not get a lot of focus episodes in this show, which I honestly
She got more early on in the season, and then
she got like 2.
Yeah.
And then we get one more here, but her sister died in the past, killed by Zangyack, just like most of the people here.
Yeah.
And this
she'd
episode
be a maid for a bit.
also, yeah. This episode also
I was
serves
okay with
a friend of Luca's comes in, Kane, who is the Nazca Dopat from W.
Right. Same actor.
That's right.
Yeah. So he comes in, but Luca. We'll talk about more of the character focus episode at the end of this, but I'm just like, on her. Episode 35 and 36. Go-onger tributes.
Yeah, these exist.
This is the reason why.
So we get the return of Sosuke Bosuke and his and he's like, oh yeah, I'm Red Protagonist Man and I'm so freaking great. Oh, there's a portal in the sky. I'm gonna get to it with a trampoline.
This is
not a big trampoline, but like a little exercise trampoline.
like a personal.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I did not want to watch Go-onger.
We watched this before watching Go-onger. And
Yeah.
I watched it
Me too.
prior to this. I was just like, wow, this is awful.
This is the day that we learned that cars can have children. In the dimension made of the sentient vehicles, they
With
can
my Halcyon.
they have the ability to
Also, I forgot to
reproduce.
mention earlier in the Hurricanger tribute episode, Maru comes back, who was also in Hurricanger, and changes them in Hurricane Gokaiger,
Mm-hmm.
which is just another armor for that. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, this is the episode where we get Mahalkin.
Mm-hmm.
Who actually gives us our legitimate combination mech.
Mm-hmm. But we also had to stick around with Sosuke for an episode, so why?
Yeah.
But I'll admit, I do love the combination mech. It looks
We'll
good.
talk about that in a second.
Voiced by Sanji.
Because
from One Piece.
episode 36 is the Tentacle Other tribute episode to Go-onger, because we got that in the movie when...
Because why we get a two-parter for Go-onger is beyond me.
I was gonna say this is the one that gets the two-parter.
The other one that gets...
Hurricanger got one too, which
Ohranger
is nice.
got one,
Ohranger got
All
one.
the bad ones, except for Hurricanger, are getting two-parters.
But yeah, this is
wow.
the other one. This is also the one where we finally get Mahalkin as a thing.
Yep.
Mahauken!
Which is supposed to be
Body. Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Body,
body.
Episode 37 is...
Get used to it, folks. You hear it a lot.
Yeah, it's true. It's like Gokai Silver Gold Mode.
Gold mode.
Episode
Fuck
37
yourself.
is the ending of Warz Gill and Barzork.
Mm.
And this is also when we get... Because this is also when we see Octos Gill for the first time, even though it's only a flashback.
Yeah.
And this is also when we get the Gokaiger get their ultimate power. This is when we get Kanzen Gokaio.
Yay.
And then go.
Yeah, this is when we get their combination mech. I like the helmet on this a lot.
Yeah.
Mm.
The pirate ship with the swords coming out of it, I just think it's cool. Yeah,
You
Warz
got
Gill.
someone with your hat.
Yeah, Warz Gill dies. Oh well.
You will not be missed.
in the next
Pour one out for
between-
not you.
That's not. Then the next episode, we get this little special where Guy and Captain Marvelous get combined into one body, and we go through like the massive red change special, and it was cool just seeing them do like one right after the other, like things like that.
Mm-hmm.
At least it wasn't Gokai Christmas.
Oh no,
We're not there yet.
I know. But
episode 39.
Megaranger.
Another one of my favorite red shows.
I love the title of this episode. Why? We're high school students. Just why?
I love this episode. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Although they don't use the Megaranger keys in the mech, so I don't know what it would have done. But I like the fact that we get to see them just about high school.
Yeah,
It's just, I like things like that, and seeing Kinji.
because it was so integral to Megaranger.
Yeah. Well, it was.
I said it was.
I was just short for your reason, I guess.
No.
But yeah, we get to see Kenza again, who's now
Yes.
a teacher, like Gintaro in the future.
Mm.
Became a teacher.
Yeah, he's a teacher at the school, and I love how he and Guy get along like almost immediately
Yeah.
because their energy
They're the
levels,
same
They're the
person.
same person.
their energy levels are right about here. And at the very end of the episode, he invites them out for barbecue,
I was gonna say, yeah, he still loves this Korean barbecue.
which I don't blame him.
Which who doesn't? Come
Korean
on.
barbecue is amazing.
Unless you're a vegan, in which case.
Now, episode 40. This is once again, this is the versus.
The
universe.
future is the past.
This is the versus.
That doesn't make
universe.
any sense.
So, one, we get to see Time Yellow,
Mm-hmm.
who looks no different.
Once again, more evidence of the Asians not aging.
I was waiting for you. I was like, he's going to realize it in a second, right? All right, there we go.
Can I go lay down on the couch?
No. Now,
Asians don't age people.
this is the official tribute episode to the Dairangers.
Yes.
And it also explains the Gokaiger's appearance in Go-onger versus Hurricanger. Because they go to the past, and when they get there, they see the Hurricangers and the Go-ogers fighting from their versus movie against their evil people, who I can't remember the name of right now because I'm not looking at the screen. And then the Gokaigers come in, transform into all red people, and blow up what's-his-face.
The Cthulhu wannabe.
But they were sent back because Time Yellow Dumon wanted them to not to stop this one shrine from getting blown up. There's a reason for that. But at the moment, we get the scene where after they turn into the Dairangers, fighting against Meta Alice's minion, whoever his name is.
Yeah.
And we get the scene from the very first episode of Timeranger where they're dodging the bullets.
Oh, yeah.
And Guy doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
So he takes the place of Time Red in this one. I just thought that was great. That was a great little homage.
Yeah.
And the way that they're fighting against them one after the other. And it's like from the very beginning of Timeranger when they do like the blurry effect of them fighting, they do that in this episode. And like you said earlier, they pay a lot of attention to detail and there's a lot of love put into the show because that is something that you really wouldn't think that much of. But since they did it, that makes it special.
Also, I love this episode's ending.
Oh, yeah.
The end of the episode where because Gokai Silver, his mech, it travels back to the future every time.
And they meet
Every time he uses it.
a lot of the thing, they meet this kid at the shrine.
Yeah.
And that kid ran away from his mother because she travels a lot, and he's just like, I'm really tired of not being able to make friends. And they get over that at the end of the episode, but the mother is actually the photographer lady from Timeranger,
who Yellow had a romance with,
and also had a kid with,
and apparently had a kid with because
apparently
because they all take a photo at the end, and they leave the photo in there for him, like just to say like, hey, everything's cool, we did it. And he sees the photo, and he sees her, and he sees the kid, and he starts crying and says he looks just like me, and that was just so sad. But
isn't that awesome? Didn't that also mean he became his own ancestor? Okay, he didn't fry himself.
No.
Yeah. It was great. That was a great emotional end to this episode. I love the fact that I like it more when it's not the Red who shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, happens a lot in the show.
It really does.
It's not always just the Red. And even if it is just the Red, they'll be accompanied by somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Gekiranger episode where you get the Master who shows up.
And the Go-onger tribute episode, it's Sosuke and Bomber.
The Ohranger tribute is red and pink.
Red and pink.
Deiranger, red, yellow, and Dekamaster. So it's a lot. The further you go on, the less likely it's just the red that shows up. Yeah, it happens every once in a while, like Kinta. But it's still great to have more come from these episodes.
Yeah.
But also in that shrine is a very particular sealed vase.
Because why wouldn't there be?
Because we'll come back to it later. It's called the Negakude Shrine. And I'll bring that up later. But episode 41. This is the episode where Ahim proves that she's complete and utter badass. Although this also happened earlier when they fought the Basco one other time and they got the extra ranger keys back. Ahim had both of her guns, and I think she was fighting against... I can't remember exactly who she was fighting against. Wolzor?
I don't remember either.
I think it was either Dekamaster or Wolzor Fire. I think.
Sounds about right.
But she blocks the sword from hitting her, and she has both of the guns in one hand. And then she pulls the trigger with that one hand on both guns, and it shoots him straight in his chest. I'm sitting here like, I'm gonna need you not to be that great. But episode 41 is the one where we get to find out who blew up Ahim's whole thing. She was a princess, and she was the only one who got away. But I love when she first sees him, and the look on her face, where she was like, I have to commit murder now. I had no choice.
You leave me no choice. You must die.
And this is also the episode where Octo's Gill comes in and takes over.
Who is the emperor?
Yes.
Leader of the empire.
this episode is great, not just because Ahim gets her revenge at the end of it, but also because we get that medley of Gokai changes where she pairs up with someone and like takes on like a counterpart. Like when she pairs up with Guy, they both turn into the Go-on wings. With Joe, they turn into Deca Master, Deca Swan. With I'm blanking out. Oh, with Dawn, they turn into the Go-Riders. With Luca, they turn into the Fire Yellow and Pink. And with Marvelous, they turn into Shinken Red and Hime Shinken Red.
Yep.
I thought this was amazing. This is one of my favorite things just in the show proper. Episode 42 and 43 is really Dawn more coming into his own and the end of Dominos. When they finally beat him and Dawn shows how actually good he is when he gets mistaken for some legendary hero, which isn't true.
It's something that he made up.
Yeah, something that he made up just so they would stop making fun of him because that's the very beginning of that one episode. But it's also just good to give an ending to Dominos. I think that's one of my favorites.
It had to happen at some point, but it happened in a good way.
Yeah. If it didn't happen like this, I think it might have been some different issue. Now, episode 44 is the Christmas episode.
A lovely Christmas Eve.
A lovely go fuck yourself.
Which is the tribute to Battle Fever J.
This is also the other time that we get to see Kenji Oba.
This is where we see Kenji Oba in show.
Right before he shows up as Gavin in the movie.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this episode really quickly. Because one, I love, as we said, the Battle Fever suits are awful.
Yeah.
But damn it if it isn't funny just to see them.
Yeah.
Because they
to see them in glorious HD.
And then we get to see
Gokai Christmas, which is the
half red, half green.
Half red and half green.
Monstrosity.
And
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't like it either. But I love how he puts them together. He's like, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell. And then the two keys combine. And then we get to see something that is out of a nightmare. Because it's Guy, like, skating on air. He's like, ha 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 ha. And then he shoots the guy. And I'm sitting here like, why is this happening?
Because it's Christmas, Marcus.
And then
the spirit is in the air.
Kenji Oba shows up and gives the Gokaigers
dressed as Santa Claus
the Battle Fever outfit. And I love after they fight him the first time, and Dawn is in the Battle Kenya outfit.
Yep.
And they're like doing the whole dancing thing, and everybody else is stopped, but Dawn is over there like.
You can't stop me now.
You can't stop the boogie.
Episode 45.
Episode 45 and 46 serves the Kakuranger tributes. But this is also the 45 is a clip show because in that sealed vase from the Timeranger tribute.
Was a clip show.
It's a clip show.
Is Ninja
sealed in this is a clip show.
Is Ninjamon.
Ninjamon.
And I love how they didn't realize.
Digivolves too.
They're talking about how
Ultimate Ninjamon.
Basco has these 5.
Or whatever it would be called.
Basco has these 5 ultimate powers. They have the others, but nobody has Kakurangers. And they're talking about the shrine. They're like, Negakude. Negakude. It's all, Joe is saying this, so he's like, Negakude. Gakude. Kakude. Oh!
Eureka! It will be ours!
And so they get him out, and Ninja Man has been sealed away there because he always gets too excited. So then the main 3 Mexican Kakuranger are just like, we're putting you away. We can't do this. And we get the clip show.
Go into the vase and cool off.
And we also get the scenes of them turning into all blue and all lion. And there's this deleted scene as well where they turn into Kiba Ranger and the Z-Ranger suits as a tribute to Power Rangers. But they don't show it in show. It's a deleted scene they put up later. Yeah. I just thought that was just hilarious. But
no, I prefer the tribute from Akiba Ranger Season 2.
The Powerful Rangers.
Powerful Rangers.
Even with the flag in the neck.
In episode 46, this is the actual Kakuranger tribute episode where Ninja Man he doesn't believe them because he's just like, I've been in trouble way too much. But just believe people right off the bat. So he goes like this whole training thing. It doesn't work. But he finds out at the end that, they're genuine. You can go ahead and give them the ultimate power. And he does. And we get...
I like at the end of the episode.
Where Surahime shows up.
She's just like wow, you didn't fuck up. All right, peace. And then she just ninjas away.
Yeah, she was like, I was going to be the one to do this, but I guess since he did it, I don't have to anymore.
Bye.
I'll take my paycheck.
She was just in something. Was she in Lupin? She was in something recently where we got to see her actress again. But yeah, Tsurahime didn't have to get into the ultimate power. They just have it, and they also, once again, every single time they have a tribute episode and they transform to that team, they play the theme song. And since I have the Kakuranger song playing, in my iTunes, I was just like, I'm just gonna play this.
She was in Space Squad recently.
That's what. Yeah, I knew she was in something recently.
Kakuranger,
and they play the theme song, and I'm just like, this is still the greatest thing ever.
Episode 47.
47. Now, Sally has been, with Basco this entire time.
Abused.
But then Sally seeks refuge with the Gokaiger when Basco is turning on her. And he gives her this necklace prior to doing that. This necklace is a bomb. And he basically uses her to try to blow them up. And that pretty much works.
Like a bastard.
Yeah, he basically just used her and just blew her up and then tried to kill everybody else.
Yeah.
This ends to the last of the two-part episodes with Basco because Marvelous gets seriously injured.
Mm-hmm.
The others try to go and fight him. They lose their Ranger keys to him, and he uses that to take over the ship. And then in the next episode is the final battle between Basco and Marvelous.
Which is, I think, one of the best fucking fights that Gokaiger offered.
It was a good fight. It was very good. And then, the whole fight scene between them when the others are like laying there. And then the only way that Marvelous
he stomps on his foot, stabs both their feet, and just blasts them upwards.
Yeah. And that's how Basco dies. And they get the other great powers back. Great scene. This is basically the emotional ending of the show. And so they get the other 5 great powers, but they're like, we don't know if we want to use this.
Sorry, I just saw the air date of that episode. It was 7 years ago.
Well, that's not when we watched it.
I know, but still.
Not when you watched it.
To be fair, when I watched it, it wasn't that far off. I think Go Buster was like 5 episodes in when I watched it, so it was not that far off.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
The greatest treasure in the universe
The Triforce.
is the Triforce, damn it.
It's a pyramid version of the Triforce.
It is literally a 3-dimensional Triforce.
But they end up getting the other 5 great powers back, and they're like, I don't know if we really want to use these. I mean, we really didn't earn them, and then the lights shine. And
Link shows up and says, are you going to use
no. And then Sun Vulcan 2.
It's literally just like they just got the actors' heads and be like, we don't have time to do tribute episodes for all of these. Take it.
It's like they get Volt Eagle, Chain Motherfucking Griffon, Green Flash, 5 Yellow, and Blue Mask.
Yes.
And it's like, no, take it. We do not have the time to do an episode for each of these people.
I mean, all you had to do was shoot him in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
And then they go out, Insarn comes in, because this is her last episode. They transform into these 5 teams. And we get, not really a medley, but we get their theme songs one after the other, which was just great. I love the instrumental versions. I really wish I had some of them. Hearing the Changeman one and the Flashman one just playing one after the other were just amazing. And I was completely here for it. And then they were just like, okay, what if we end up using this great treasure after they finally get it? They're like, all right, we really can't use this because if we do, all these Super Sentai of the past will end up disappearing. And it'll be like they'll be erased from history. So it'll be like their sacrifice was made for nothing. So a couple episodes later, they shoot it and blow it up. And they leave the decision up to Guy because he's been an apprentice pirate this entire time. This is really him being put into the team itself when he makes that decision. Also, so they defeat Insarn. And in episode 50, Mammoth Ranger shows up. Goshi.
Yep.
And I just like the fact that he sort of just came in.
It was okay to see him again. He just kind of showed up and he's like, hey, let me help.
And they transform to the Z Rangers again later.
Yep.
And Guy, from the other action commander that was there, he, blocks the blast that they were going to get with Dragon Ranger.
Yep.
And I love how they do this really smooth transition into Marvelous's...
the Armored Tyranno Ranger.
Yeah, Armored Tyranno Ranger. And I'm sitting here like, that's perfect. Because it's something that you really would not think of. But it happened in the show, so it was like, all right, I guess we could just use this and make that the thing. And so they blow the last action commander up. Octo's Gill, they go up because Zangyack brought down a bigger fleet.
Yep.
Gokai Silver and Red in episode 51 go up and ram Basco's ship, thanks to Navi, into the main fleet ship. They blow up the entire fleet using that ship. And then in episode 51, after Marvelous and Guy come down in Mega Red and Silver, we get the medley of all the Super Sentai teams.
Destroying the shit out of the villain.
I watched that this morning and it still gave me chills.
Because it's not just them, it's also them turning into the super form of some of those teams, if applicable.
Yeah.
And it's just... And God, again, that voice actor who tore his throat up, he got to work up and, Ranger, shit, he can't you good, motherfucking God.
Well, I mean, they probably just used archive footage from all the other stuff. I don't think he recorded that day.
And then they use from a special in Shinkenger, they use Hyper Shinkenger from the movie, the Shinkenger movie.
Yeah, with the Shark Saber, yeah. It was...
It was just great. And then they decide to leave and go to parts unknown and help whatever Zangyack faction is happening. And then they come back next year and take it over for a little bit. This show is amazing.
Yes.
This show is just great.
This show is the paradigm of what a final or an anniversary season of a show like this should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not just that, just what a good season could be.
Yeah. This is what we always end up saying when you
also,
do...
real quick. The moment where right before that final fight starts and Guy and Marvelous cut the blast.
They basically turn into Alata with Roger.
Just like that's how it starts, and you're like, well, you're fucked. Where's my popcorn?
I absolutely love this episode and this show. And that last scene of the 6 Gokaiger standing in front of all the other Sentai teams in the back is still quality and perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, let's talk about these characters.
Marvelous.
I love him.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Reds.
Yeah.
Also, the we forgot to talk about the helmetless roll call.
They do get the helmetless roll call.
Helmetless roll call. Another thing I want to talk about is the ending theme song.
Oh, yeah. We never talked about the closing.
Oh. Well, that's more you, because I don't really care that much.
Okay, well, the closing theme song, the way it goes is there's 3 different versions of it because there's 3 different verses. 4 now. And it's just a little song that's one little stanza each that talks about a certain Sentai, and it goes through chronological order. I like it a lot. It's catchy. It's fun.
I like the added ones that they added in the thing that you
I like how they are keeping it updated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, of course, hopefully we get another one the next time they show up, maybe in the 45th one.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get the other 5 that have come since then. But
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
He is marvelous.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He's such an asshole, but he's so nice.
He's the asshole with the heart of gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last thing they end up seeing before they leave the planet is Akka Red standing on the bow of the ship.
Yep.
But yeah, Marvelous himself is just
he's still there.
He's just the greatest. He's a great Red.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's a great leader.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's strong, but he isn't obnoxious. And that's the thing.
He is kind of obnoxious. He's not energetic obnoxious.
He's pirate obnoxious.
Exactly.
He's cocky.
And I love, it's one of the last things when they asked Ninja Man for his great power. He was like, all right, so you're going to give us the great power, right? I guess you can just do it now. There's no point in doing anything. And Don grabs him and was like, every time you do this, it doesn't work. So just stop. And we'll do this a different way. God, you're awful.
Every character in this show is so goddamn memorable.
Joe.
God, he was so cool.
He's so cool.
He's really so cool.
He's the cool silent one, but he also has his moments.
And with that whole thing with his friend or mentor who became one of the generals.
Who became Barzord,
yeah. And then him in the background did some things. The Timeranger episode where they realized they were supposed to go back for an ultimate power, and they didn't get it. And he's in the back doing sit-ups. And they all look towards like at the front. They're like, "Oh my god, we didn't get anything!" And they start doing massive sit-ups.
He's just like, fuck.
Dang it.
And a couple episodes later, Negakude. Kakure.
Also, the only man we know that who can wield 5 swords at once.
I was gonna say, I made fun of that in Rurouni Kenshin for the guy who like held like 3 swords.
I mean, they didn't combine in 2 hands.
It was still dumb.
It was. Luca.
But still,
Also, look at fucking Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. He's got
that's still dumb.
Yeah, Joe is great. I love Joe in the show. And the fact that he got just so much dedicated to him, listened to Barizori was killed, was just amazing. Luca. She doesn't get a lot.
She deserved more.
She doesn't get a lot, but my god, she's hot.
He's not inaccurate, so.
I don't care.
I know you don't.
Yeah, I love Luca.
I like her a lot.
No,
she's greedy.
She's greedy as greedy. Like when they had to sell her ring and she's like, I'm sorry, excuse me?
No.
You had to give this back to me with interest. So there's that. Yeah, Luca's fun. She really doesn't get a lot. I mean, she has a whole backstory with her sister, but then they're just like, all these other Sentai actors are coming back, so we're gonna put you on the back burner.
But what we get is good. She got a lot of sass.
Don, aka Doc.
He is great.
I like him.
His fighting style does get a little.
His fighting style is like flare awkwardly and shoot things.
Yeah, if it works, it works.
But it works.
It works. It's not like he's completely useless. It's not like he's fucking RPM Green, where you're wondering how the fuck he got through the whole show.
Now, RPM or Go-onger?
RPM. I chose my words very carefully.
This thing is great.
Ziggy as a character is great. In combat, he sucks.
Well, that's mostly.
But fucking Doc is a hell of a shot.
He's also the team doctor, so
he's also a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
he
a
is
cook.
very smart.
He's the one who made the Gokai
He's the mechanic.
Buster.
He's the doctor.
Yeah, he does a lot of the shit. Ahim.
She's a princess.
She's hysterical.
She's the calm one.
Yes.
And everybody else is acting insane. She's like, all right, but
She's the only person who I think I've ever seen kidnap herself.
Yeah.
That is a thing that happens in the show.
Yeah, that
great.
did happen earlier. And she was just like, I'm so calm about this.
Doesn't she, in that episode, I'm pretty sure she called, when the kidnapper calls to ask the Gokai just for ransom, and she asks for like an absorbent amount of money.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, you're a part of the pirates. But I love how he like points a gun at her, and she just looks at him, smiles, and just sticks her finger in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this is a toy. I'll kill you. But I won't, because I'm Ahim.
I've dealt with people like you before.
And I won't do it again. So, here we are. Fun time. The last one, Guy.
I like Guy.
I love this guy.
Yeah, he was obnoxious about the fandom thing, but it worked. Especially in this world where everyone's familiar with all of the Sentais.
Mm-hmm.
There had to be at least a few of them. Yeah. Who was like, I know all of them by heart. And then he gets to be a Sentai and he just jizzes it all over himself.
I don't blame him.
That's his life at that point.
And
he's the one who
because to be fair, if the Justice League existed in our world and they invited me to join the team, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah,
I'd do the same thing.
He's the one who makes the encyclopedia, which really helps them.
Yes.
Figure out the great powers.
He invents the wiki.
He does. This show is amazing. Now, of course, they're gonna like for me. I would never say watch Gokaiger first.
I did.
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend it as a first one, just because there's a lot.
I wouldn't say if you're going to start somewhere, start with Gokaiger, unless Jacob was a special case because pirates already appealed to him.
I do love pirates.
So where else would we start with that? I never say one Sentai is definitive as the one you should start with.
Yeah,
because everybody's so different.
No, true.
I think the reason I just don't say this one just because there is a lot going into this, and I would say just watch some of the past ones. I say Dairanger is a good one just because it's a very standard Sentai. And just this is how it goes. This is what it is. I would say Dairanger is a better start point just because there's a lot less you have to worry about. Not to mention there are some spoilers in the show.
If I had to go back and tell us, before any of us watch Sentai, which one would be the best ones for us to start with, I would say Gokaiger for Jacob, Dairanger for you, and Kyoryuger for me. because those shows each appeal to us on a level that other shows wouldn't.
I would say to anyone watching, because I know we had a fan a new fan watch us. I think it was one of our streams that we did last week. If you are new to this and you want to get into it, and there's something that you want to watch, I would say look at the synopsis, look at the suits, see if it's something that's visually pleasing to you and you like the sound of the story, and just watch it.
No, that is actually very good. That's again.
You don't have to. You don't have to start with any particular one.
I think that is a very good thing to say. And I was just trying to say, I like to ask people, what are your interests? What do you like? What do you don't? How does this look? Like, I was showing you pictures.
Oh, I remember.
Gokaiger before you watch, and you're like, that looks awesome. Yeah. Right? We're starting there. So that is, I think, the best advice you can offer somebody. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about with Gokaiger?
No. It's just good.
We should have done the in comparison first, honestly.
No, we have to say the anger for last.
We have to say the anger for last. So that's how we roll.
That's how the fun starts. But yeah, as I said, we're at the beginning of Go-onger. So how the schedule's going to work for the rest of it, I'm going to put up an infographic here.
We have those now?
Yeah. So
we're official and shit.
Next is going to be in comparison.
In comparison.
With Super Megaforce.
Yay!
It's a super mega bullshit.
Super mega win.
No. After that.
I'm so happy.
After that.
I hit the camera.
You hit the tripod.
Yeah.
After that, we're going to do $199.
Woo!
That's getting its own review.
That's getting its own review because we absolutely love that movie. And then the last one that we're going to do, specifically because it involves the next Sentai, we're going to be doing the Ghost Ship movie and the Gavin Gokaiger movie.
Woo!
Fun times ahead.
Fun times ahead.
And that'll be basically the entire plot of this month. I think after that, for March, when we get to start our first review in March, is going to be Jacob and I. Because we're going to do Ultraman and Dyna. And we're very excited for that. We'll tell you, though.
We will be doing something to celebrate our 3-year anniversary and reaching 4,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Which, thank you all so much.
Yes, it's been a great time. I'm so happy we're finally heading over Gokaiger about the And then I guess the next month that we're going to be doing will be Gaim. So, yeah. But tell us what you think about Gokaiger in the comments below. Really can't wait to see what you guys think about it. Great time.
Great times.
And don't forget to join us on all the things, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon.
Just one more time, Patreon.
Yeah, just so you know.
We also have a Discord. The invitation for that is on the Twitter page.
Yes. Yep. And that's it. See you next weekend for Pain.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.